Welcome to the moment you
Championship.
have all... No. The Alcova Mortgage Dr. Thunder Power Pass-Off is this week, baby.
Okay.
It is real. It is happening.
Yeah.
Actually, yes, it is championship week as well.
Yeah.
The CUSA.
Minor detail.
Minor detail. There's a little game
the
going
tickets
on
you're
there.
winning are to the championship
Yes.
of Conference
Yes,
USA.
so,
Yeah.
Joe, show the world
Show the
all of the names.
I mean, look.
Look at all the
Everybody.
names.
Everybody.
Let's just start.
Entrance.
I told Joe 4 times while I'm introing the show.
throw
Can
it
you
in
please
there.
throw them in? Look at
the
all.
names.
Yeah.
Throw them in there. It is the Alcova Mortgage Dr. Thunder Power
Oh my God.
Pass Off.
Dr.
It's
Thunder
Warner.
has no idea we're doing this.
It's Austin.
He doesn't know how to spell my last name.
It's Warner. It's Austin Cudd. It is the Alcova Mortgage Dr. Thunder Power Pass Off.
Okay.
I mean,
Okay, so Joe is like legit making
yes, like we are.
these.
This is for two.
Tell them what it's for.
Two. Alcova Mortgage has bought 2 Conference USA Championship tickets. 2 Conference USA Championship tickets. Club level.
Club level.
Club
These are
level.
the good
ones.
Hey, you get a little chilly?
Right.
You would just put your sweater on and say, I'm still a little chilly. Go inside and get you a little chicken tenders. Why not?
Yeah, absolutely.
Huh? Hey, can I get you hot chocolate? You just walk right over, grab your hot chocolate. Your club level, you're
Oh my
relaxed.
gosh.
You want to watch it from inside for a little bit? Watch inside.
The Rice Krispie treats are
Rice
bigger than my
Krispie
head.
treats.
Like
Oh,
it is.
wow. Club level.
They're
Sounds
awesome.
better and better.
I mean,
It's
it's
awesome.
And on top of it, you will get to watch some of the game with your very
Wait, we're
own.
not picking yet. We're picking at the end because
Yeah,
then
no.
nobody's going to listen to the rest
Well,
of the
hang on.
show.
Just hang on. Let's draw it out a little bit.
Well-
Maybe do one midway through, one towards the end. How about
Okay.
that?
So we have a lot of names. I
He's
would
trying to
say
hold the
that's at
folks in
least
suspense.
50 names. Matt
50,
and I
yeah.
will
Or
be
not,
doing
Matt.
the power pass off
Yeah.
sometime in the
Later
next
this
couple
week.
days. Yeah. I've
What
been.
do you want to do it? Do you want to do it tomorrow?
I've been really
Let's
working.
do Wednesday.
Wednesday?
We'll probably do it Wednesday.
Love it.
I think we should do it indoors in the indoor practice facility
Yeah,
because my
Emma's
hands
already-
get cold.
Yeah, sure.
She's already come up with
You know?
excuses.
Oh my God.
Or the key to this whole thing for you, the key to this thing for you, right, is don't give her everything she wants
Yeah.
because you don't want to listen to her excuses.
That's what
Right?
her
So
husband
she
told
want-
me. Yeah, the
no,
exact
give
same
her
thing.
exactly.
Yeah.
Just talk to Jason and you
Joe?
give her everything she
Yeah.
wants. Then you
Yeah.
don't have to listen to her excuses.
Yeah.
Okay, take a look at what Joe posts about the ticket giveaway. I am laying. I'll put it on over,
On the
but
YouTube.
I'm laying with Stan on the couch,
Sleeping.
snoozing away. Then you have Warner
Warner is grinding.
in the
Rain.
freezing rain.
It was about 25 degrees that day.
Yeah. Shorts.
Wait,
Shorts.
look at this. Look at this.
Yeah.
Watch this. Right, boom, right in the
Boom.
donut hole, right there.
That's it.
Bam.
That's it.
So we'll see. You know what? Walking just around campus, there hasn't been anybody, but there was a couple people that are like, you know what, Emily? I support you, and we're cheering for you. It doesn't seem like that on social media because
and you
everybody's
said-
taking
No,
Warner's side.
that's not true.
And you
have some
said, thanks,
fans. You
Mom.
have some
That means a
fans.
lot. Yeah.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Wow. So there is a football game going on this week. The CUSA Championship.
Come on.
The Flames finish the regular season undefeated. Wow. Who would have thunk?
I mean,
Not us.
I don't
Not
think
Jamie
them.
Chadwell. He said after the game, I wouldn't have thought this when 50% of the team hit the road and we
Unbelievable.
came in here trying to piece it all
Unreal.
together. Unbelievable. And was dominant again.
Yeah.
It wasn't a game.
Yeah.
Like that second half was just like,
Yeah.
all right, when's this thing gonna,
Yeah.
let's just keep this clock moving here,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah.
Dominant.
and there's no better way than to finish up a perfect regular season than with the mariachi band.
Then with the
Oh.
mariachi
They
band.
meant when Brad Queen danced
Oh
in the
my
corner of the
gosh,
mariachi
the
band.
went viral.
mariachi band.
I mean,
It
that's
went
how
viral. That was everywhere.
that's how you finish.
That's
it.
how you finish it.
It-
And you finish it with 441 rushing yards.
Oh,
That'll
41,
keep
yeah.
that number one spot.
Second most in program history.
Yep.
That is unbelievable.
We also found this is a shout out because our SIDs are really taking it to the next level. SID
Wow.
Sports Information Director. Shout out to Joe Carmody for this one.
Smoking
Liberty
Joe
has only
Carmody.
rushed for 400 plus yards 4 times in program history. They have also set new season, single season records for points scored, 481, and total yards, 5,982.
Yeah.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
So, So let's dive into this game a little bit more.
You know what, though? Hold on.
Go ahead.
You know what, though?
Mhm.
We didn't make a great step to Caden Salter's passing
know.
yards. I was thinking
I
about
know.
that.
I was gonna bring
Towards
that
the
up.
3,000.
I know.
Towards the 3. What was the
only
well, I mean,
4 of 11 for 22 yards. Listen,
22
there were more
yards.
Frank Thomas, Doug Flutie commercials hawking their testosterone pills than there were Liberty pass completions
Wow, did you
in
give
this
him
game.
that line?
No, that was
That
good,
was a
though.
good
Weren't there a ton?
There
By
was
the
a
way,
lot.
it was a
Yeah.
ton. There was a ton.
Oh my God.
But by the
Hey,
way,
Matt, hey, Matt,
early
hey,
gift
hey,
for
Matt.
Christmas gift for Joe.
Matt,
by the
hey,
way.
Matt, hey, Matt.
You're gonna get
Hey,
something in the mail, Joe.
hey,
Don't worry about
hey, and she'll like it too.
Oh my God.
Oh, those were
It is
terrible.
already
Those
off the
are
rails.
just terrible.
Yeah, speaking of the 3,000, 1,000, another guy coming to the Berg on Friday night is probably going to hit that mark.
No.
Diego Pavia.
Well, Diego Pavia is within range
Well,
passing.
I didn't know this.
He's at just over 2,700 yards
Yeah, okay.
passing. He's barely over 800 rushing. So he's got to do some damage running the football.
Yeah.
Now he can.
Now look what happened.
Speak them words,
Look what
Ricky
just
Bobby.
happened.
Don't you put
What
that
is the
even into me,
average?
Ricky Bobby.
What is the average a game?
I mean, he's not averaging over 100 yards a game.
Whatever.
Look at what he did last year. Let's pull those stats up.
Yeah, well.
I don't know. He's
Not last year.
Not last year.
Yeah. Stop talking.
And you know what? He kind of struggled on Saturday. They win
he?
last second field goal of
Yeah,
Jack State. He turned it
last
over
second
3 times.
buzzer beater.
The yards were there, but some turnovers. This is going to be fun, man. Like these two teams, this is in the history. Like there is. Like somebody asked me, like, who's Liberty's rival, would you say?
Yeah.
Well, in football right now, you'd have to say it's New Mexico State because
Yeah.
it's not just like Western Kentucky. It's like it's just this year.
Yeah.
You've been playing New Mexico State
Yeah.
for years now as
Yeah.
independents.
Played him twice in one season.
Yeah, so you have this history. You have the final game from
Yeah.
last season. You
Yes.
have all of this that leads
Pavia
up
had
to
what,
it.
5 or 6 scores?
Six,
Yeah.
6 touchdowns. Yeah.
So Jamie Chadwell said after the game, like, hey, we are not the same team earlier in the season. Neither are they. We're better, and they're better. So it will be interesting. I don't think it's going to look much like that first game at all. Do you?
No, I don't think so at all. I think these are two totally different teams. I mean,
Yeah.
the fact that Liberty escaped that game, or when they escaped, they won it.
Second half.
They won second half,
Took over,
but
yeah.
Yeah.
how much they've improved. But I mean, we've said this from the beginning, from last year when we interviewed him, that Jerry built to kill is the real deal.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna tell you this right now, that's a football team that is gonna show up on Friday night ready to play some ball
Oh,
for
yeah.
a championship, because you couldn't have preseason, you couldn't have drawn this up any better.
Mm-mm.
I mean, you got Jerry Kill, his crew coming in here from what happened last year, back at Williams Stadium, Conference USA championship game in Williams Stadium between these two teams, Friday night. I mean, power pass offs. You got everything. All the storylines are
All the
there.
build-up.
I mean, this is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
And I can't wait. The other thing too that's real exciting is I really think that the Lynchburg community, the students obviously are going to be behind this thing 100%, and they're going to show up
better.
and they're going to show out.
Because listen, this is what Flames fans have been asking
This is
for.
what you've been asking for.
Mhm.
You've been saying, for years, oh, we need to be taking, move up to FBS. We should be in this conference. We should be. Here you go.
There you go.
This is it. This is the big stage.
Yeah.
You are the first conference championship game in the nation to be played. So at least briefly until the Pac-12 game starts, you've got the spotlight, right?
All eyes on
All
the furnace
eyes
Friday night.
Another
On
thing-
Williams Stadium.
Another
All
thing-
eyes in the furnace Friday
we go.
night. Here
Not
we go.
only Lynchburg community and like Liberty in general, but the Flames football team, they've been asking for respect all season long. You have an opportunity on Friday night to get that respect because you're playing a team that just took down 2 weeks ago, Auburn, SEC. Well,
Yeah.
they're still
Yeah.
a little upset, not only about that, but
Yeah, they've got
they're
some things.
Saturday.
They've got
But
some things going on. Listen,
you
bundle up
have an
and show up.
opportunity to
Bundle
get
up
the
and
respect
show
Who
up.
you
cares? It's a
deserve.
little chilly. You know what? Put on an extra layer.
It's
show
not,
up.
It's actually
Night
not.
game.
It's actually not super cold from the forecast. There's a little bit of rain potential, but
In the morning.
we're gonna get through.
You're gonna be fine. This is
We're
what
gonna
you
get
want.
through it.
This is what you
Show
want.
up.
This is what
This is history.
This is history.
You're gonna miss history.
And two
Get in the
fans are
stadium.
going to have a chance to be nice and warm and cozy at the
Yes,
club
sir.
level.
Yeah.
We'll get to that in a moment.
Yes,
We'll also
yes.
talk a little bit about men's basketball. We had a little midday matinee on Saturday.
Men's basketball's legit.
Man,
They're
are.
good.
Yeah, they're good.
Don't peek too early,
Big
boys.
game this week.
But let's talk about Liberty's rushing attack. This ground game, you got more boys in the back that have returned.
Yes.
Your boy Blue.
That's my boy Blue.
Quentin Cooley, 3 touchdowns on Saturday. Aaron Bedgood, obviously. Billy Lucas and James Joyette. How do you stop Liberty's rushing attack?
See, here's the thing. This is where it gets in. That UTEP's rushing defense was there. I mean, it was almost, as I like to say, it was almost too easy.
And Chadwell said like they were so bent on taking away those big shot plays, throwing the ball down the field, that he's like, all right, well, we'll just
you want to throw for 22 yards or 20
we'll run for 7 yards of carry. Yeah.
Here's what I'm most interested in this leading into this thing is, will you have these guys back, Blues back, right? Cooley's run the ball the way he's run. Aaron Bedgood's run the ball the way he's run. Well, when you get into a championship game, okay, you have to decide who are the horses that we're going to ride.
Yeah.
Because everybody wants their touches, everybody wants this and that, but you'll find out a lot by the play calling is who are the guys that we're going to choose to get the, when you start looking at what's CJ Daniels going to do, what's Cooley going to do, what Bedgood is playing better and better. And you know what he's doing when you watch that game, what I really noticed in that game about him is how he's trying to run through tackles.
Yeah.
You know, like he only weighs 100 and whatever,
65 pounds.
165 pounds, right? Yeah. And he is accelerating with his shoulders down through tackles. Like his confidence is way up. Cooley, you know, so how do they get the ball? Who becomes the guy in this Conference USA?
I don't know how you don't say Quentin Cooley.
Well, Quentin Cooley, I think you start there. But the other thing, too, that is interesting, you get Von Blue back. He gets 5 carries, so you get him in the mix and get him taking some hits and all that stuff. And Billy Lucas is healthy. He's running the ball well. Do you see Bedgood line up more at receiver? Because outside of CJ Daniels, who in that receiver room do you feel like has proven to be that go-to guy outside of him right now?
Wait,
Sibley.
Bentley Hanshaw's back, right?
Hanshaw, I think, will be back. Sibley didn't have a catch this last week. He's obviously been great. But do you kind of put him more at receiver to just keep him on the field as another weapon and still utilize him in some of those ways, but maybe give Von Blue a little bit of that? Yeah, that's going to be the interesting part. How do you split it all up?
Well,
I think that's a good problem to have, though. The fact that they're getting these guys healthy and everything.
I mean, Quentin Cooley only ran the ball 13 times Saturday. That's like a day off for him.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So hopefully these guys are feeling pretty good coming into Friday night.
But here's the difference. This is what I've always said is that Liberty, once they run the ball in between the tackles, right, they're almost impossible to stop because it opens everything else up that they're doing. It's going to be a lot tougher sledding, I think. You know, I haven't seen New Mexico play, looked at them in depth, which I'll do this week. It's like, how good is their front seven, right? But if they have, the question becomes is if Cooley has a hard time running the ball in between the tackles, right, then what do you do? Okay, then what are your options? Because I like the idea, like Von Blue is such a good receiver, right, out of the backfield. And then it's what you're saying. It's like, okay, if you're Jerry Kill and New Mexico defense, what do you start thinking? You start thinking, okay, we got to make sure that CJ Daniels doesn't kill us, right? We got to make sure that Cooley doesn't kill us in between the tackles. You're going to pick 3 things. And then the third thing is you can't let Caden Salter beat you with your legs.
Yeah.
Right? So now you get into, okay, well, if you're going to pick those 3 guys and do the Bill Belichick style of we're not going to let your best players beat us, right? If you are able to slow those guys down, Liberty does have other weapons that they can use in order to have success. But the question becomes is like, who do they really put that load on? I think a lot of it is going to go on Aaron Bedgood. I think he's going to be an integral part of this game plan.
New Mexico State on the year, they surrendered just 3.9 yards per carry and about 126 yards rushing per game.
I mean,
so they've been pretty good.
I mean, that's there it is. There's your storyline.
Here's something that concerns me a little bit going into this game is Liberty hasn't had a high stress play in the second half of a game since Western Kentucky. And that was October 24th.
Wait, no, okay, so they play them after, you're right. After Middle Tennessee, Sam used to
they have not had in the second half been like, oh boy, we got to convert here. They've been up multiple scores. Whereas New Mexico State, 4 of their last 5 games have been 1-score games in the fourth quarter. The only one that wasn't was Auburn, which was still a game down the stretch.
Sure.
But they've been playing in this, you hear teams, I think about baseball playoffs, right? Teams that get hot going in, where they say, we feel like we've been in the playoffs for the last 3 weeks. We've been fighting for our lives in every game, and you carry that over because you've been in it. It does concern me a little bit that Liberty hasn't been tested for 4 quarters, even 3 quarters in a month.
And the thing that what we're going to talk about next Monday on the podcast, whichever way this goes, is if Liberty wins this game, okay? there's going to be an unsung hero. There's going to be that guy that, oh my goodness, we didn't see it. Whether that's an Aaron Bedgood, whether that's a Slibley, whether that's a Noah Frith, it's good. There's going to be a guy that is going to be an unsung hero, because this offense is built around, like, we're going to do what we do. We're going to run. Like, you can say, oh, you get a tough game. No, this offense is built around, we are going to do what we do. But then at the same time, I really believe that one of these players, not usually how this goes, how these things go in a really competitive matchup, is that there is some guy that you don't really count on or you really don't know about that's going to step up and make a few big plays. That could be the difference in this game. So who is, we should change from bold predictions to who is going to be the unsung hero.
Okay.
The other thing is, I feel like
it's the unsung hero.
You really should start producing.
Caden Salter's going to have like 2 to 3 throws where he has a chance to make that big play.
Yeah.
And you got to hit him.
Yeah.
And again, the room for error has been so great in these last 3 or 4 ball games where you missed one big deal, you're going to run for 8 yards on your next carry. Like in this game, like you're going to have that shot play where you've got CJ Daniels one-on-one, like you can't miss it. You got to hit it now. Yeah.
But when you look at this defense, you know, those tight games early on in this season, they carry the Flames through. And then the offense has been clicking so well. Not that the defense hasn't lately. When you look at this UTEP game, 271 total yards, held them to 50 yards on the ground.
Yeah.
So, and regardless of, it's just good to have one of those games on your belt before you're facing a New Mexico State game where you have to stop the run.
Don't you feel like the defense has found something here the last few weeks, really even going back to maybe the ODU game? Like they've improved. Yeah. You see it. Like they're continuing to get better. Defensive line is playing better. They're making more plays. Yeah. Like I do feel like the defense is trending up.
How much do you, and they mentioned this a little bit after the game, is it because fresh bodies, when you're running the ball and those guys are on the defensive side, have a chance to kind of catch their breath and they're not on the field as much because the offense is running the ball so much?
Yeah, I think when I sat down and have watched film with the coaches, that the one thing that you see from them is I really like. I like this a lot, is that this isn't a defense. They're playing with so many young guys that are gaining their experience as they increase their game. They're playing more games. So what Liberty coaching staff is really focused on is like being super fundamental and not doing a lot of things, right? So that can come to bite you. Like some people think, well, you know, hey, we would be fundamental and we're just going to be really solid at what we do. Well, these offensive coordinators are pretty good and they're pretty good at knowing where your weaknesses are and picking those things apart. But I think Liberty has done a really good job coaching-wise of just being so solid fundamentally and turning these guys, young guys, into good football players before they put too much mentally on them. And that allows them to be freed up to play without having to think a lot. Yeah. And I think that's made a big difference. And so you've seen, I think that's what you're going to continue to see, is they're just going to do what they do. We're 12-0. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. And keep playing that way. And that defense is really showing their improvement because of that.
And to your point, Liberty holds the ball on average 8 more minutes than the opponent. Right. So that's 8 minutes that their defense is on the field and yours is.
Another thing to look for, New Mexico State, Diego Pavia, he's been a little banged up the last few weeks. So he's one of those guys that you know what,
Diego Pavia, that guy you're going to get everything out of him.
No, I know,
guys like that live for this.
That does impact, a little bit. So it will be interesting.
Now, if you can get a couple hits on him early on, absolutely. Yeah, you want to. Yeah, but he's going to
empty the tank.
Oh yeah. Last question before we get to our first drawing. Do you bring back the Mariachi Band if you beat New Mexico State?
Well, you go back to back with the Mariachi.
Well, I don't know.
No, you can't.
No, here, my last thing though.
No, we can come back to it. We got to get to a drawing, and then we don't have to be done with it. We don't have to be done. Right. Okay,
we're drawing. We're
now,
drawing.
Is this going to be Emily's rep or mine?
Emily, your rep?
I don't know. I don't want to let anyone down.
Just let the folks know. We're gonna have.
You do it every day.
Currently. You know what, Emily? I'm gonna really start sticking up for you. I'm gonna turn on Matt.
Please do.
I'm gonna turn on Matt. You're gonna become my BFF. I'm gonna turn on Matt. Yeah.
Here you go.
Come on, Emily. You're gonna win this.
First name.
I need you to win this thing.
Emily, this is who Emily is representing.
Oh my gosh, I'm so nervous.
Okay, so the Power Pass Off currently, right now, as we speak, the big boards. We're gonna call them the big boards. The Alcova Mortgage LU big boards. Yeah. 14. There's been a lot of talk on side about how big the round circle to throw the ball through. 14 inches.
Oh, good. I've been practicing on 12, so that'll be great.
12. Great. It's 14 inches. Okay, we haven't determined how far we're going to go back.
Yeah.
But we'll
You
don't worry about that.
left-handed or right-handed?
Yeah. Oh, look at this. And
We already determined this is a
and so
lose-lose
we're-
situation
and
for
so-
me. I can't win.
30
Matt
seconds.
Warner-
I can't
30
win.
seconds.
Here's what you need to answer me right now. If I beat Matt Warner, he would never be able to show face on this campus ever
unbelievable.
again.
If you beat him, it would be unbelievable. I know how mad he gets playing pickleball.
How high is it though? Because I have my
don't worry
my
about it.
passes
Here come the
sail a little
excuses.
bit. Am
Yeah.
I
First
cooking?
name.
Yeah.
First name.
All right, so this is gonna be Emily's
go.
person.
Come on,
Here we go.
Emily. Who's it gonna be?
I'm so nervous.
Come on. One time, baby. One time.
Keith or
That's my boy.
Oh, congrats, Keith.
That's my boy. I did his mortgage loan.
if this is somebody who
Yes.
didn't believe in me on Twitter, I'm
Keith
gonna.
is a great dude.
Okay.
Congrats.
That
okay.
is
All
awesome.
right. If you could vote in the coach of the year poll, okay, and your two choices are Jerry Kill and Jamie Chadwell. Let me hold on. Think about this because Jerry Kill, I understand they lost to a UMass team early in the season, but what he's been
What's their
able to
record?
do to 10 and
10
3,
wins, 10 and 3. They had 13 games. Yeah.
10 and 3. What he was able to do to turn this program around has been pretty remarkable for a New Mexico State program. When you look at Liberty, you have a guy like Jamie Chadwell who had a 50% roster turnover, but he led them to an undefeated 12-0 season. Who are you picking for your coach of the year?
Yeah, that's why I go Jamie Chadwell because of all the uncertainty, taking over a program, roster turnover. Like Jerry Kill, like he knew who his quarterback was. Like we talk about the offensive weapons. He knew Diego Pavia. He knew Star Thomas. He knew you got all these guys that are coming back that he knows that have been in his system. That it's just plug and play. You know how good they're going to be. You know what they are. For Chadwell, who was his quarterback? Like we didn't know.
Yeah.
Like you think it was going to be Salter? A lot of people thought it'd be Jonathan Bennett.
You
Who are
did.
these running backs?
You
You lost
told us all it was going to be
the
Bennett.
strength of your team last year, the running backs, boom, all gone. None of them. None of them are here. Like I think, like
the inside
Your whole
linebacker-
team has to learn a new offense.
Right.
Linebacker
it's
position may have
easy
been
to
the
say.
worst hit.
And then I understand what you're saying. New Mexico State is viewed by far as a much more difficult place to win.
Yeah.
Absolutely, much tougher job in general. And so maybe if this were year 3 for Chadwell, you might lean
different.
Jerry Kill.
Yeah.
But I do think the challenges he had overcome with it being year 1, I would go with Chadwell.
Here's my stance on this one. If you give Jerry Kill went to an SEC school, Auburn, beat them on the road handily.
Yeah.
Okay. They've gone to say 10-2. Is that right? 10-3?
10-3, yeah.
10-3. Okay. So that is an incredible job. But as close as that is, you can't beat perfection.
Yeah.
Right. And I
What are we
can't.
talking about?
But outside of you, Emily, outside of you, because I told you I'm trading, I'm jumping ship. Matt, I'm coming over to support you. Outside of you, Emily, the 12-0 is a perfect season, right? With a ton of adversity that you had to face, right? You don't have a signature win like that, right? But with the ton of adversity you had to face, at 12-0, you got to go with Jamie Chadwell.
Jamie Chadwell.
Yeah, and I think it's more. I think too, it's like you look at Jamie Chadwell's offense. He's gonna score points, right? You just give him decent athletes; they're gonna score points, right? But I think the bigger pat on the back is what they've done with this defense, because you lost so many people. I mean, you look at Tyron Dupree.
Yeah.
Tyron Dupree's a guy that didn't play a lot. He's in his 6th year, right?
Yeah,
He's a 6-year guy.
Yeah.
He's 6 year and didn't play a lot, and that guy has become an outstanding football player. The guys who stand in the gap.
He has twice
it's
as many
unbelievable
tackles as anyone else on this team. Twice
And
as many.
what was the knock at Tyron Dupree at the beginning of the
Can
season?
he defend the run?
Can he defend the run? Can he defend the run? He's really good in the pass, but can he defend the run? Well, guess what? He just showed you that.
Number 20 in the nation. That's where the Flames have moved up in the AP poll.
They win this game. You're talking like 17.
Pretty exciting stuff. Tulane, when we talk about the New Year's Six, did you have one more comment on the New Mexico State?
I did.
Sorry.
One last thing that is a concern, if you want to call it that, going into this game for me. And again, we haven't seen Liberty in a lot of close games.
This segment's called Concerns by Matt Warner.
Right. This is what I do. This is what I do. Is New Mexico State has a pretty big advantage in the kicking game. Like they've got the Ethan Albertson kid who kicked the game winner on Saturday.
Point, Matt Warner.
He's had 2 go-ahead fourth quarter kicks this season. He's in, I think he's a senior, but he's had 59 career attempts. He's made 78%, long of 52. So if it does come down to that, I think it's very fair to say they have an advantage with a kicker that's made big kicks before. Liberty hasn't been in that situation this year.
Because we scored touchdowns, Matt.
Right. Maybe you don't. Maybe it doesn't come to that. But it's something just to kind of keep
That
tucked
is
away in
really,
the back of your mind.
really good point. Oh, now I'm
you're
anxious.
worried.
Now I'm
Now
worried.
you're worried.
Here's a great. What's the spread?
Liberty by 10.5 is
You're
what
kidding
I
me.
saw earlier.
You're kidding me.
That was the line I saw earlier. I think it was
10.5.
yesterday. Yeah. Yeah.
Wow, that's a lot of points.
Man, what in the world is my bold prediction going to be? Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm surprised it's that much too.
We'll get to
It's a
the
lot.
second
It's a lot.
drawing for the Alcova Mortgage Dr. Thunder Power Pass in just a moment. Pass off, actually. In just a moment. Let's talk a little hoops.
Yeah.
Men's basketball is the best team in the country.
I don't. Well, we'll start to find out because Thursday they play FAU, who dismantled Virginia Tech yesterday. So that's gonna be a huge test. Top 25 team. Liberty has never beaten a top 25 team.
Really?
I think it's 0-19. I think is their record. Yeah, it's crazy,
that
huh?
actually surprises me.
And so they have a chance. They have a chance this week, and that'll be in Boca. We're going to Boca.
We're going to
Boca
Boca.
Raton.
I'll be at the shuffleboard table.
That's right. So it'll be a great test. So but dominant. I mean, you play a Maryland Eastern Shore team who you beat by 20 last year. And, I mean, Liberty could have beat them by 60 if they wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
It was thorough domination.
It really was. It was fun, though. I mean, this offense, I like the balance attack a little bit more. Because I would go into I love Darius, don't get me wrong.
Right.
But I would go into those games and I would just be like, you better be on tonight. Because if you're not, I'm nervous.
There were a couple times where Naz and I just kind of looked at each other like during the break and like, did you see how fast that ball was moving?
Yeah.
Like how quickly, decisively, they're passing the ball around. Like they leave defenses just scrambling, and they're so unselfish that they're always going to it's not like, oh, when it gets here, he's probably going to force one up.
You know when you see a cockroach go around like the kitchen floor like a little mouse? That's Caden Mathede.
We got to talk to you. We got to get you an exterminator. Yeah, we got an issue.
No.
I'll tell Jason to clean things up around that house.
No, but that's just how fast Caden Matheny. I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't keep up with him. And he had a really good game.
Yeah.
What he finished with 20 on Saturday.
20, yeah.
So
That's gonna be fun.
It's gonna be a great game.
It's fun.
Gonna be fun.
6 o'clock.
Zach Cleveland had a little
ESPNU.
scare early on.
First
He
play of the
goes
game, they
down,
lob it.
throws it.
Yeah.
Oh my
Kinda
gosh,
catches his elbow. I thought, it was gonna be bad news, but
yeah.
you can't hurt him.
You can't keep him down.
You can't hurt him.
If you want to be a part of the show, you can do so. Flames Central at liberty.edu. Flames Central at liberty.edu. We'll get to the mailbag. Going back to the gridiron, New Year's Six talk. Tulane did win on, I think they played
Now they got to play
Friday.
them again, right?
No, they play SMU.
So they play SMU.
So what do you get?
Oh.
A couple former Liberty coaches trying to help out the old squad. Scott Simons, the DC for
Yes, he
SMU.
is.
Ricky Hunley, defensive backs coach. So a couple of guys.
And you've got a
trying to help
bunch of
out
guys,
Liberty.
old portal transfer guys that have gone to both schools, right?
Yeah.
Walker's down
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah.
But I think it is between those last
Shedrow
three
Lewis?
teams, right? Like Liberty,
Yeah,
Tulane,
right.
Tulane.
Yeah.
Liberty, Tulane, SMU. I think are the three that are in that New Year's that are the only ones still in that mix.
If SMU beats Tulane,
And they very well could.
and they very well could,
They're playing well.
they're still 9-3, right?
It would be 11-2.
Oh, so they've only lost 2. Okay.
They've lost 2, and they were 2.
Will that-
Oklahoma.
I think that would put them in.
Do you think that?
The big thing is going to be, what is the CFP ranking? Does SMU break in this week? If they break in, they may have a chance. If they don't, I think we're safe.
SMU, Liberty's at 20. Tulane's at what, 17?
Well, that's not the playoff ranking, but that was
okay. What's
that
the playoff?
comes out.
What's the,
That comes out tomorrow
today?
night.
Okay, or tomorrow. Okay, so, but right now it goes. Right now it goes Tulane, Liberty, SMU. That's how it'll play out. Correct?
As of now, that's
As
what
of
we
now, it's a play.
expect.
So then if SMU beats Tulane, Tulane will get knocked out.
Yep.
So then it becomes down Liberty beats New Mexico State. It's going to come down SMU, Liberty.
Yeah.
Which one's ranked
It
higher?
really will be interesting.
Will
That-
SMU jump
all
Liberty?
you have to know is you have to control what you can control, win
Right.
Friday night, and
And
then
sit home
let
and
the
watch.
cards fall
But
how
listen,
they should.
the best thing that could have happened for Liberty was New Mexico State beating Auburn
Yes.
and beating
Yep,
Jacksonville
that's
State,
so
because
true.
now
Yeah.
you're playing a 10-win team.
Yeah.
And if you were beating a 7-win New Mexico State
yeah,
team,
it'd be different.
that would be different.
really
You'd be a
good
little
point.
more concerned about getting jumped. I do think
Yeah.
that could be a huge factor in keeping Liberty
I wonder
win
how
and
much
SMU
weight
win
they'll
that.
give on like how this game goes.
Yeah, I don't know.
Like if Liberty comes out and they put a smackdown on them and like, dang, these dudes look great.
Then they,
I bet there is a lot of weight on that.
Yeah.
We'll see.
So-
Control what you can control. Bring
right.
the mariachi band back to the
Bring it back.
Berg to celebrate a conference championship. flamecentral@liberty.edu. Let's get to the mailbag, and then we'll get to our next drawing.
All right, you'll go.
Mailbag.
All right. We got a message from David Flagg.
Flagster.
And he basically,
Flag on the play.
That's right. We just kind of answered what he, he asked a number of questions. We answered some of them. But he did ask, second half struggles for Liberty, how much do you put on that simply we're playing a lot of backups as opposed to just losing focus throughout a game?
Oh, no, I definitely think it's backup situation.
Well, a little bit. I think it's a little bit of both.
A little bit of both.
Like, especially when you're so dominant in that first half, and it comes so easy that you're getting guys in there that haven't played a lot, right? And they need the reps, which is great. The more you get, you want those guys on film, so they're going to play hard, right? I don't think they have the reps. So, to those struggles in a game like that, right? That is no need for concern.
Jamie Chadwell mentioned that in the press conference before this past week. He was like, well, you have to think we are getting a lot of guys in that haven't had a lot of playing
He also
time,
asked, biggest key to stopping New Mexico State? For me, I think it's don't let Pavia beat you with his legs.
Yeah.
Like if he starts getting out there and running between, 70, 80 yards, something like that, you've got problems.
Yeah.
Like force him to have to sit in there. And he can still do it. Like it's not like he's not effective throwing the football, but if he's doing what he did a couple years ago where it's working running, it's working, but like you can't have that. All right, another question. This one comes to us from
add on to that is I think in order to get a quarterback to be like that, you've got to be effective stopping the run with your front four first. If you can do that, once they start running the ball at you and you start getting your linebackers up on, getting involved too much right away, that's when those dudes can start escaping. They can fake and escape, play action you, and spread you out and do that. But if you can whip them up front, right, that gives your spies, the other people you have on defense, a much better time, much easier time to be able to stop a scrambling quarterback. So I think the first key to the game is to watch how New Mexico State just in their standard run game runs the football. If they have a hard time running the football, that's a good sign for Liberty. If they're hitting for 6-8 yards, and they start mixing it up on us, probably him running the ball could become a major problem.
Man, I'm so bummed that we're not going to be on the coaches' calls and stuff this week. I want to know all the game plans. Like
I'll call Jerry.
Maybe I'll see if I can get in, some of those meetings and really.
Questions from Corey Pinto. He wants to know. First, he's like, "What's the big deal about Tulane?" He's like, "Their schedule's not all that great. Why are people with one loss putting them ahead of Liberty?" Well, they beat a Memphis team who ended up being 9-3. That's a pretty darn good win. They beat UTSA, who ended up being 8-4. That's a pretty darn good win.
Answer this question.
So they have a loss to Ole Miss back in week 2, but they do have, if you're just ranking like the wins, they have more impressive wins.
I'll answer this question for Pinto.
Go for it.
The answer to this question is last year.
Yep.
Right? Last year. Were they undefeated last year? I think they were undefeated. Whatever they were. They beat USC.
Yeah.
They beat USC in the bowl game, and so they go into the season with immediate respect, right? It's going to be the exact same. If for some reason Liberty doesn't make it to a New Year's Six bowl, and they go and play, they're obviously going to go play somebody who's really good. Yeah. If they compete well, close game, or win that game, you're not going to be saying these same things next year.
Yeah.
You're going to be right there.
Last question from Corey. He wants to know, looking ahead to a bowl game and hopefully a big time opponent, how does Liberty match up in terms of offensive and defensive lines compared to previous seasons where maybe you didn't feel like they were as strong and could handle it in the trenches?
Offensive line, yes.
Yeah.
Offensive line, I think the offensive line is really good at Liberty. They play with a ton of confidence. They have the size, they have the bodies, they have the system in order to put themselves in a position to be successful against a really good defense. Defensive line, it's a little bit more worrisome. With losing Kendi Charles out, and then just the amount of depth at not only D-line but at linebacker, defense is where there is a need for concern. Not that those guys aren't playing hard and doing a great job,
right?
But when you're talking about playing a big dog, we're going to play in a bowl game, and you're looking at a 9-10 win team, a big dog in a bowl game, that the defense line is the biggest concern.
Can we draw my name, and then we'll get to bold predictions and Flames fantasy? Yeah.
Oh boy.
It is. And folks, for all you folks out there that are looking for a home, if you want to purchase or refinance and you're a Liberty alumni employee, you go to alcova.com/Liberty. You get up to $5,000 off your closing costs. This isn't Cole's cash. This isn't Jeffrey dollars. This is real.
Not monopoly money.
It's not monopoly money. This is real money that you get off your closing costs. And go there and apply. purchase, or refinance. We'll take
I
great
had
care
a
of you.
really good intro to that, and you guys are just you jumped the gun.
Yeah, save it
I was
for
gonna
next
say,
week.
you know, it's the holidays. What are we doing right now? Building gingerbread houses. But you might
It'll
be.
work next week. It'll work next week. Save it. Save it. Save it. It'll work
Okay,
next week.
here we go.
All right, the Alcova
A lot
Mortgage
of these are
Dr.
stuck
Thunder
together.
Power Pass
Come on,
Off.
Who-
You're gonna draw like
Who
it's
will
gonna be
Matt
like
Warner-
Ethan,
Come on,
big
Warner.
money, big money, big money.
One time,
Who will I be
Warner. Who is it?
representing? Who will I be representing?
goodness.
Corey Pinto. He just sent us a letter. How about that?
Pinto.
All right.
Pinto.
All right, so here's what you have to
You also do.
Joe.
You get to watch the game with Matt Warren and Joe Yacht.
Well, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
boy.
I mean, unbelievable.
I'm literally just scraps. All right,
What, you-
so
no, you'll be there.
I know, but you
We'll
just
figure it
said
out.
you can watch it with Matt Warner. And,
You can watch the
and
Matt
Jay.
Warren. Shoot, I was trying to flip over to your side too.
Sure.
Sorry.
Okay, which do you want first?
Flames Fantasy, music to my ears.
All right.
Let's hear it.
Well, okay. Tough week for Joe.
I was watching that thing.
Literally,
I was watching
this
thing you
could just be a recording, and it always starts
Salter
with
did nothing for me.
tough week for
16.7 points for Joe. He's got 297.
I'm kidding.
I had that week.
Emily
I'm
had
getting slaughtered.
Emily every week is over 40. 41 and a half. Like Cooley's like, I won't run for that many yards, but I will score 3 touchdowns.
Remember when Cooley hadn't scored a touchdown like 5
I
games
take
in?
part of the blame because remember I went on that rant about give him the ball, let this kid score.
many touchdowns
I
did
was
he have?
leading at
15
that point
now.
in
He's
Flames
like
Fantasy.
15.
Yeah, it's unbelievable. So she has 513 points. I had 29.6, so I have 390. Salter didn't help you out. If you added up the points from Salter the last 2 weeks, Joe, that would be about 48 points.
Oh, I'm closing the gap.
You're still behind me by like 50 points. So we'll keep tracking Salter's points, and we'll see what happens here down the stretch.
Okay, we're gonna get to bold predictions.
predictions.
Last week, the Snell scoring system. I can't remember. I never remember.
Em, you were leading at 4.5.
Well, this is where the action's at.
I
Oh,
was,
yeah, because you're
here's
in
what the
it.
standings were last week. Emily 4.5, Joe 3.5, me 3. Well, guess what, baby?
No way.
I got the win.
No
So
way.
now it's 4.5 M, me with 4, Joe with 3.5. Here's how it sets up going into the championship week.
I feel like such a
If
loser.
Emily wins, this week,
Such a loser.
You're one pathetic loser.
if Em wins this week, she wins it.
All right, we got 2 balls.
If I win, I'll be in first still with a game left. If Joe wins,
eliminated.
it's
no,
it's
if I
wide open.
Oh,
It's wide open.
I mean, it's
I
wide
actually almost
open.
want
Oh, this is
Joe to
important.
win.
So-
This is important.
Wait,
which,
you
by
know-
the way, can I say this real fast? Joe, you had the score picked perfectly until Nate Hampton fumbled the ball. And that just opened up the door.
Oh.
And you had it nailed. You picked
What?
42-14. And then Hampton
Oh,
fumbled,
my
and then all sorts of shenanigans started there in the last like 6-8 minutes. And so you had it nailed. So tough break. Tough break.
baby.
You know what we should add
What's
to the final bold predictions? If you do the unsung hero, you get an extra full point.
Yes.
Or a half a point.
That's
or
a great-
something like
'cause the
that.
pick-
Why, we gotta run this
Half a
past
point.
Jeff now. You know, who are you to just start tweaking the scoring system?
We gotta run this fast.
Yeah.
Jeff.
What do you think you're doing?
Hey, if
No, that's
I,
Emily. That's a really good
thank
idea.
you.
It's
If I
don't
win
give it a full
the
point.
Alcova Mortgage Dr. Thunder Power Pass Off,
Yeah.
then I win the Snell scoring system bold predictions and the Flames Fantasy League. That's a hat trick, baby.
Yeah, triple crown.
Triple crown.
Well, I'll
wow.
personally get you a crown.
Okay.
All right, let's go run bold predictions.
Joe, go.
Oh, you going right to me at the?
I can go first if
No,
you
go.
guys.
He's
Okay.
ready.
I'm gonna go 31-27 Liberty.
Wow, love it.
And I'm going to say, if you want to call this is just my bonus little thing. You can call it my unsung hero if you want. But I say, Kobe Singleton, the man that may have single-handedly saved the season against Sam
I
Houston,
love this.
he comes up with an interception in the final moments to seal the ball game. New Mexico State driving late.
Kobe Singleton.
Pavia throws the pick to Singleton to win it.
If you call that, that's incredible.
31-27 Liberty.
So, are you saying like that doesn't have to necessarily happen, right, for an unsung hero? But if Kobe Singleton
Sure.
plays a ball game of his life,
Whatever. Yeah, we'll
then he
forget
could be
about
the-
this unsung hero thing by next week. So yeah, whatever. Yeah.
unsung hero is important.
Yeah,
It's
you're right.
important to this game.
Yeah.
Okay, so I think it's going to be a lower scoring game.
Okay.
I do.
I struggle with that.
I think this is going to turn into more of a defensive battle than you think. I'm going to say the Flames are down. Okay.
Yeah.
I think the Flames are down 20-18,
Okay.
and they've got a 35-yard field goal on the last play of the game
I'm getting nervous just thinking
to
about
win it. The field goal team has been embattled all season.
Yeah.
They've had a rough. They've been hot or cold.
Yeah.
Right. It's good. 21-20. Flames win.
21-20.
21-20.
Wow.
Flames win on a field goal.
Game-winning field goal.
Yep. And the unsung hero, and the Alcova Mortgage unsung hero, goes to Trayon Sibley.
Oh.
He's coming back. He's coming back off his injury. He's gonna be healthy, and he's gonna make a couple plays that you're not expecting.
Okay, I think that the Flames are going to win at 30-24, and Kane Salter is going to lead the Flames down the field for the game-winning drive, and he scores a rushing touchdown.
So they're gonna be down, and he's gonna and they're gonna win.
Which, by the way, it's kind of like being the last person in Price is Right, where Emily gets to see what scores we do, and then she just kind of
I was going to say
goes
27.
under by you know what I mean? Like,
I was going to say 27-24, but I think that
I go 31-27. She's like, I'll go 30-26. yeah.
Can I have $1,001?
Hey, who's your unsung hero?
Wait, so wouldn't it be Kane Salter scoring the rushing touchdown?
He's pretty sung. He's pretty sung.
He's been very much sung.
They're talking about, I mean, he'll probably be on the Heisman list next year. So I'm saying he's
40 touchdowns worth of singing.
Give me your unsung hero, Emily.
Von Blue, baby.
Von Blue. That's perfect.
Von Blue.
That's perfect.
It's a blue Christmas.
She sings those, been singing a lot.
Without you, with you. I don't know. Okay, thanks so much for listening or watching. Wow, we have an exciting week ahead. We'll do the Power Pass Off.
Power Pass Off midweek.
Yep.
But don't forget as well, the Flames Central Game Day show, pregame show, Friday night, 6 o'clock on Liberty Flames X, Facebook, and YouTube.
Yeah.
Joe's going to be on the desk. We're all going to be involved. So be sure to tune in. Make it to the game and watch it on your phone while you sit there. Or if somehow you live hundreds of miles away,
put it on the big screen.
Just put it on.
Stream it on the big screen.
Show up. Let's get out to the stadium.
So it's all the coverage that you can even think of. Pregame. You have coaches' interviews. We sometimes mic up players, all the great analysts. So be sure to check out Flame Central Game Day Friday.
I will ask Derek Hill, has he designed a conference championship tattoo?
Oh, my gosh.
Yes,
it's probably going to be a big eagle for beating the Flames, and then it's going to say, born in the Conference USA.
If you were in full suit, if you were, let me say this. If you were in full suit, right,
this is where it gets out of
and
control.
you cut the sleeve off, and
if I see one of these, and they ripped them off.
And it's had a big, like, Liberty Flame tattoo right here, and say, about ready to meet that coach.
What? Maybe should I put Jamie Chadwell on the spot?
Yes.
When he gets off the bus and say, Coach, are you willing right now to say if you win this game, you will get a massive back tattoo of the Conference USA logo
with flames coming
off of it? Yes or no? How badly do you want this? How bad do you want to win this game?
How bad do you want this?
Yeah.
And that's why you need to tune in Flame Central Game Day at 6 o'clock, because you never know.
You never know.
You never know. I think that's it, guys.
Well, Mama don't know.
Okay. For Matt and Joe, I'm Emily. Welcome to the moment you have all...
Championship.
No.